Welcome to this session. This is the teacher Isaac Tuhire. Again, take you through the mathematics paper for O level for ACEITEKA mock. And here is our marking guide step by step. Remember, a paper for mathematics takes 2 hours and 15 minutes. So as a student, you have to make sure that you plan very well. An item should take a maximum of 30 minutes. And then you use the 15 minutes to make a selection and also go through your work. However much an item is given 30 minutes on average, but it would be better at least again to finish it before 30 minutes so that you get ample time when it comes to going through your work. So in mathematics, we have section A and section B. And in section A, we have 2 compulsory items. And the first item, item 1, is always under numbers, where we find such topics. We have fractions, percentages, and decimals. We have number bases. We have working with integers. We have numerical concept 1 and numerical concept 2, where we find surds in numerical concept 2 and then numerical concept 1, so where we find indices. And then item 2 is also compulsory. Those are the 2 items in section A. And number 2 is expected, is always from these topics under the theme of patterns and algebra. We have linear programming, we have algebra 1 and algebra 2, we have composite functions, we have equation of a straight line, we have also mappings and relations, we have patterns and sequences, we have simultaneous equations, and again quadratic equations. So these items, you shouldn't think that whether I should attempt them or not. They are compulsory. They don't need a debate. Then in section B, part 1, is where we find item 3 and item 4. Item 3 and item 4 are always under data and probability. So what do we expect from item 3 and item 4? We can have set theory, we can have data and probability, we can have graphs, and even matrices. We have set theory, we have probability, we have graphs, and then matrices, and then statistics. So they can combine those topics. They can bring sets and probability, they can bring matrices and probability, they can bring statistics, they can bring probability and graph, whichever way UNEB wishes or any examination body wishes to, as long as those topics are specifically under that very theme. So it's better from this, then in this item, we always attempt 1 item. Now they become 3 items. We have the first 2 items in section A, which are compulsory, and then item 3 and 4 in section B part 1, where we pick only 1 item. Then also we have section B part 2. Also here we answer 1 item. And this part 2 is where we find a theme of geometry and measures. Now, in this we have vectors. We have business mathematics, business arithmetic. We have planes in 3 dimensions. We have circle properties. We have circle. We have nets, volumes, and surface area. All those are under geometry and measures. Even when we've not forgotten transformations, mention translation, enlargement, mention, reflection, and even rotation. So you will not run out. And even we have bearing. So all those topics that we've not mentioned to be set under numbers, patterns and algebra, data and probability are under geometry and measures. So we shall answer a total of 4 items. A student, but for us in this video, we are going to answer all the 6 items because the items that we may intend here to do can differ from what others can do. So for us, we are going to go through all items. Now we have item 1, that is section A. I have the first paragraph. An organization in a particular community owns 4 square centimeters of land on 1 to 250,000 scale map. They don't know exact size of the plot of land on the ground in square kilometers. The organization gave some plots to a certain group in that community. So here, even before finishing, you can see that these are ratios and proportions. And remember now, there is no inverse proportion, there is no direct proportion, but instead now we have scales. We have scales. We have scales. And even from this, again, you go back a little bit behind in senior 2-term theory, where we find nets, volumes, and then areas. Also, we have to change units. So now here, you have to come and use this scale. But this scale is under ratios and proportions. Then we have also here, the group wants to hire 2 tractors to plow the land. However, it is revealed that tractor A takes 45 minutes to plow an acre of land, and tractor B takes 20 minutes to plow an acre of land. While they both work together at the same time, at the same speed, the group is challenged on how long it takes to plow 10 acres of land after starting at 7 a.m. Now, for all learners, for most learners, after seeing these intervals, maybe some teachers told them that whenever you see intervals, quickly run to the concept of LCM. But now we use LCM when something is happening, it all is expected to happen again. So here, there isn't any concept of LCM, but instead, we are going to use the fractions, as we are going to see in our solutions. And then number 3, we have paragraph 3. We have the plowing budget will be supported by color G, area members of parliament, and group members. The color G will contribute 3/4 of the budget, 1 out of 8 by the area MPs, and half of the remainder by the group members. And each of the 48 members was required to contribute 50,000. And now here you can see here just we have fractions. Then here we have our task. Help the youth group to determine part A, the actual area of the piece of land in square kilometers. Then time the tractors shall plow the 10 acres. Then find the total budget for plowing. So friends, that is item 1. We have ratios in proportions. We have here fractions. And again here also again we have fractions. So here we are going to start with part A. Now we had read that one first. So here we want to come. And we say that area on a map is 4 square centimeters. It's better. Please learners, before you start answering, first summarize your scenario. Extract the important information from your scenario. And in most cases in mathematics, if you see 3 paragraphs, you find when every paragraph has its own task. In most cases, I'm not saying that is a must. And also, you may find when each paragraph is independent, when the answer in the first paragraph does not affect the answer in the second paragraph. So here in this paragraph, it required, now here as we are extracting, I have this, then I have this, and also I need in my kilometer squared. So the moment you see these scales, like 1 to 250,000, ratios have no units. So this is like 1 centimeter to 250,000 centimeters. So when I cancel centimeters, I remain with this scale. So what does this mean? It means that 1 centimeter on a map represents 250 centimeters on the actual ground. And then after you need and come here and you say that, now, can I know what 1 kilometer on a map, 1 centimeter on a map represents in kilometers on the actual ground? Now, if you are going to change 250,000 centimeters to kilometers, but you have to know how many centimeters are in 1 kilometer. That 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Then go ahead and then you change. Now that we have here 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. Now that I want centimeters, I have centimeters. Finding kilometers, I'll say that 1 centimeter is equal to 250,000 centimeters divided by 100 centimeters, which is giving us 2.5 kilometers. I repeat, how many kilometers are in 250 centimeters? It is 250,000, then divided by 100,000, giving us the answer as 2.5. Now they want the distance, they want the area in the square kilometers. Now please, people, after having 1 centimeter is equal to 2.5 kilometers, do not just put a square that 1 square centimeter is equal to 2.5 square kilometers. No, that square comes when a number multiplies itself. And now this, if I say that in square centimeters, it will be 1 square centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter times 1 centimeter. So when I can have 1 square centimeters. But remember, 1 centimeter is 2.5. So it is 1 square centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter, which is 1 centimeter squared, which is 2.5, then squared, and then kilometers squared, giving me a final result as 6.25 square kilometers. It means that 1 square centimeter is equal to 6.25 square kilometers. Now, finding the area in square kilometers, remember we have on a map T, it covers 4 square centimeters. So 1 square centimeter is equal to 6.25. It means that 4 square centimeters would be 4 times 6.25, giving us the result of 25 square kilometers. Please do not just end there. They always give you a mark for a conclusion. So go ahead and respond to that task. They said the actual area of the piece of land in square kilometers. So come here and let's say therefore the actual area of the land is 25 square kilometers. Then we have here our second paragraph that helps the youth group to determine the time the tractor shall plow the 10 acres. Now I came here and I said, remember in your primary mathematics, you used to have such numbers. The tap A can fill the tank in 5 minutes. So in 1 minute, it fills a fifth of that tank. If both taps are filling the same tank, now you have to combine duration they take. You have to combine, and in combining that is addition. Then when one tap is filling and another tank is emptying, then that is subtraction. So now here, the tractor A takes 45 minutes to plow an acre. It means that in 1 minute, now I'm looking at the rate, it takes 1 out of 45 of the acre per minute. And then tractor B takes 20 minutes for an acre, so the rate is 1 out of 20 acre, 1 out of 20 of an acre, then per minute. Then after you come, when they work together, so you have to add those fractions. So we have 1 out of 45 plus 1 out of 20 is equal to 13 out of 180. Because the LCM will be 180, then 180 divided by 45, I see 4, and then times 1, I get 4, and then come here, 180 divided by 20, I get 1, I get 9, 9 times 1, I get 9, so the answer is 13 out of 80. So therefore, they plow 13 out of 180 acre per minute. Now come, find the time needed for 10 acres. Now, when we are finding time, if we have only one job, assume we had only 1 acre, we would have had 1, because we have 1 acre. So it is 1 divided by the rate per minute. So now that here we have 10 acres, so we shall have 10 divided by the rate here. So we shall have 10 divided by 13 out of 180. But we have to do reciprocal after putting the multiplication sign. And then we finally get 1 times the 180 divided by 3, giving us 1,800 divided by 13. And that we have 138.46 minutes. So what is that? This is same as 2 hours and 18 minutes. So after starting at 7 a.m., we can say that those tractors can plow 10 acres from 7 to 9:18. And now they can use that time. If they are to end, they will end at 9:18. But the duration will be 2 hours and 18 minutes. Now we have also this paragraph for a fraction. Now here we have, first of all, extract your information. First of all, I'm seeing here a trick that each of the 45 members was required to contribute 50,000. So in that, first ask yourself, how much did they contribute in total? Group members contributed, that is 48 members times the contribution for each, giving us 2.4 million. So first of all, extract the information as I told you. Here, color G contributed 3/4, then MPs 1 out of 8. So together, how much, which fraction did they contribute? So when you add these two fractions, you get the answer as 7 out of 8. And now, but we want to find the fraction remaining after the color G and MPs. Remember, for the case of group members, they are saying they have to contribute a half of the remainder, but the remainder you don't know after color G and MPs. So now we shall get total fraction, which is 1 minus 7 out of 8. In most cases, this one is the same as 8 out of 8. So get 8 minus 7, I get 1, then out of 8. So this is the fraction that remained after color G and MPs. And then finding the group's fraction of the total budget. Remember, it is half of the remainder, so it is a half times a half of 1 out of 8. And often mathematics means multiplication. So multiply the numerator separately and numerator separately, giving me the answer as 1 out of 16. Now, it means that the group's fraction was as 1 out of 16 of the budget. But I don't know the budget, so let the budget be K. So as 1 out of 16 of the budget is equal to their contribution, that is 2.4 million. So come and say 1 out of 16 of K is equal to 2.4 million, and then you multiply 16 on both sides and get the answer as 38,400,000. Do not end there. Go ahead and write a conclusion as you respond to the task. And that marks the end of item 1. Then we come to item 2. And in item 2, this is the first paragraph. The two men at their workplace were asked about their children's age. During a survey, they could only remember that Peter is the father to John, May, Mary, and Monica. Rashid is the father to Muhammad, Sumin, and Bakari. Peter is twice as old as Rashid, and the sum of their ages is 90. Mary is 3 times as old as Sumin, and the sum of their ages is 30 years. And then the second paragraph reads, the terminal cost of a child's school requirements is partially constant and partly inversely proportional to the number of children in the household. A family of 10 children needs 350,000 shillings, whereas a family of 20 requires 400,000. Peter has 3 children and is challenged on how much to spend on the requirements for the upcoming school term. Now here I'm seeing equations and inequalities and equations. Even I'm seeing here like mappings and relations. And also here algebra 1, some sort of, but here this was a simple paragraph. Then task, help the researcher to illustrate the relationship among the men with their children. Then determine the age of Peter, Rashid, Mary, and Sumin. Now, let us start with the first paragraph. And then help Peter to find out how much he's likely to spend on his children's requirements for the next school term. Now, I told you that if we are illustrating, so we are expected to have something there. Now, let me come. Do you remember arrow diagrams? in under mappings and relations, we are going to illustrate that. Yes, you can also think of family tree in English that you always had in the primary, but here let us use arrow diagrams. Now, I want to first start with Peter, the father. But remember, Peter is the father of John, Mary, and Monica. And then we have also another father, that is Rashid. Now, those ones are the fathers. But remember, those two people were working at the same workplace. So I can say that maybe let me call them workmates. And then I have Peter, and he has 3 children. That is John, Mary, and Monica. And then also we have Rashid having 3 children, Muhammad, Sumin, and Bakari. Now, what if yes, I'm seeing an arrow there, but you have to put there a statement that connects the 2 circles. And me, I said father of. And indeed, you can see that now it is clear. Peter and Rashid work at the same workplace, so they are workmates. Then here, Peter is the father of John, Mary, and Monica. Good enough, you see here, father of. And even here I have Rashid is the father of Mahmoud, Sumin, and then Bakari. That is part A. Then, come here and see. They are saying that, yes, Peter is twice as old as Rashid, and the sum of their ages is 90. So, do I know Rashid's age? No, let me let it to be X. So Peter's age is twice X. But when you let Peter's age, who is older to be maybe Y, then Rashid will be a half of Y. But now let us always use this simpler. Let the one with the young person, maybe the young person's age be n later. Then it's when you can interpret it simply with multiplication. So the sum of their ages is 90 years. So come and add those 2 ages and then add 90 years. Then 2x and 3x, I get 2x and x, I get 3x is equal to 90. Divide by 3 on both sides. I get my value of x as 30. So it means that Rashid is 30 years. And then Peter is twice Rashid's age, so it is 30 times 2, giving us 60 years. So allow me now go to another condition. Mary is 3 times as old as Sumin. Now, let Sumin's age be Y, so Mary is 3Y. And when you add their ages, you get 30 years. So come and get 3y plus 3y is equal to 30. Then come and get 4y is equal to 30. Divide by 4, I get 7.5 years. And that is made. You have that tendency of rounding off. Please, do not round off like maybe kilograms. You get like 2.5, then you round off. Please, we only round off in things that cannot be counted. Take an example like maybe you are calculating number of iron sheets. You find maybe number of buckets. It's when you can now approximate. But now here 7.5 years. Please, someone can have 7.5 years. So always avoid. You get 1.5 kilograms, so you round off then to 2. Oh, can't I visit your shop and I buy 2.5 kilograms? So let us always avoid. So if Sumin is 7.5 years, then Mary is 3 times 7.5, giving us 22.5 years. And my friend, come here and give a conclusion. They were not asking for each. Give a conclusion at a go. Peter is 60 years, Rashid 30 years, at Sumin 7.5 years, and then here we have Mary with 22 years. Now we have this second paragraph of item 2. The timely cost as we read. My friend, yes, these are ratios and proportions. But on the syllabus, we don't have partial variation. We only have direct proportion and indirect proportion. Yes, ACEITEKA mock. ACEITEKA brought it, but for us, this side of the syllabus for O-level is not there. Currently in the old curriculum, KBC curriculum, it was there, but now in this new curriculum, it is not there. But still, let us do it. Now here, you can see partly constant. It means that you are going to introduce a constant. And also inversely proportional, also you must have a constant of proportionality. And which two things are changing? I'm seeing the cost of the requirement and the number of children. So the first step, number 1, is you defining your variables. And me here will come and I say that a constant, now this is the statement. So let me come and I say that let the cost be C, then the number of children be N, the constant part be A, and B, the constant of proportionality. But when I say that A is inversely proportional to B, then you say A is inversely proportional to 1 out of proportionality sign and then 1 out of B. It means that when to have equal signs, I'll have A is equal to K out of B. So this is my step. Here we shall have C is equal to A plus B out of N, whereby B is my proportionality constant. If it was direct proportion, we would have had C is equal to A plus BN. But because of the word inverse, you must have division. So now we use those two conditions. For a family with 10 children, one must pay 350,000. You substitute, and this we have 350,000 plus is equal to A plus B over 10. Now here you multiply 10 throughout so that you eliminate these denominators. So times 10 times 10 times 10, I get 3.5 millions is equal to 10A, then here plus B, and that is our equation 1. Similarly, for the family with 20 children, the cost is 400,000. Still do the same, multiply by 20 throughout. After substituting, we have A plus B out of 20 is equal to 400,000. Then multiply 20 throughout and you get 20A plus B is equal to 80 millions. And here now you can see that we have simultaneous equations. Now you solve them simultaneously. We have equation 1 and equation 2. Now, here I have B and B. It means that when I get equation 2 minus equation 1, definitely this B will go away and I remain with A's. So let me do it and we see. Equation 1 minus equation 2. If I get 20A minus 10A, I get 10A. And then B minus B, I get 0. Then I get 8 millions minus 38 millions minus 3.5 millions. I get 4.5 millions or 4 millions and 500,000. Then divide by 10 on both sides, I get my A as 450,000. Now, after getting the value of A, now put A into equation 1. Or substitute A may substitute for A in any of these two equations. But may I choose this one because it has a smaller values. So here we have from this equation 3,500,000 is equal to 10A plus B. So make B the subject. It is 3.5 millions minus 10A gives me the value for B. And here we have 10 times 4 times 450,000, that is 4.5 millions. So here we get our B as negative 1 million. So that is our proportionality constant. Now, you write a clear relationship between cost and the number of children. In fact, it's what they would have asked you direct, that set the relationship between the cost and the number of children. In that, you have to make sure that you write your formula without any single unknown. You just leave there things that are changing with respect to the other. Now here we shall come and we say that only two things are varying. That is the cost and the number of children. So this is our equation connecting the cost and the number of children. Now it's what we are going to use to help Peter to determine the expenditure he's likely to incur for the 3 children. Now that I need, yes, now here I have 3 children, but I don't know the cost. So come and say that for Peter's 3 children, I'll come and I say C is equal to 450,000 minus, because we would have had plus B over N, but B is negative. That's why you see me having minus as 1 million divided by 3 children. So we get the answer, the cost as 116,666.67. Now, here, approximate, and now here this is approximately 116,000 and then 700. Because now this one, you can't get those parts, you rather have 700 at a go. And then do not end there, come and give a conclusion. And that still marks the end of section B and section A and item 2 as well. Now we come to item 3. So item 3 here we have a games master in a certain school wants to award sports bursary to a group of senior 5 students when probability of playing 2 games only is less than 50%, and know the number of students that play both netball and volleyball but non-tennis. Among the 100 students picked randomly, it was found out that 48 students play netball, 82 students play volleyball, 53 play tennis, and 2 do not play any of the 3 games. All those that play tennis also play volleyball, and 48 play all the 3 games. So task here, help the games master to determine the number of students who play both netball and volleyball but not tennis. And then determine whether the games master is able to award the bursary. Now, you summarize using set notation, but to make a mistake here, yes, it is better. It's better you summarize. But in case you don't know very well these notations, those symbols, please, better you just strictly come to the Venn diagram. But do not just take also that one. Invest the time and study them. Now here in data and probability, now you can see we have set and also probability. So now here you summarize. This is our universal, then those who play netball 78, then volleyball 82, then tennis 53, those who don't play any, we have 2, there is this statement here that tennis, all those who play tennis also play volleyball. It means that T is a subset of V. Then those ones who play other 3 games were 48. Then those who play volleyball and tennis only is equal to 5. You see here, those who play other 3 is 48, and those who now, you see here, the number of those. Now here, if they say that all those who play tennis play volleyball, it means that number of those who play volleyball and tennis were 53 still. Then here, if I said only, then I'll get 53 minus 48, giving me 5. Now here, then let those who play netball only be X, then volleyball only be Z, and then here number of those who play tennis only is 0. And the same thing, number of those who play netball and tennis only is 0, because those 53 are just in members of 53 played volleyball. It means that none of them played netball. None of them played tennis only. So that is it. But now here you must come up with a clear title. Yes, Venn diagrams are drawn, but it's better you put there a title. And our title will be a Venn diagram showing number of students who play the 3 games. Even you can list them. That is netball in bracket N, volleyball in brackets V, and tennis in brackets T. Now this is our Venn diagram. Yeah. Yes, whoever used a subset also would work. But me, I said here, you can say that all these 53, now 53, because those are the ones playing tennis, also play volleyball. That is my statement. Also here I'll come and I say that those who play tennis and volleyball and tennis and netball only 0, and then those who played tennis only is 0, and then let those who play 78, let those who play netball only be X, then let those who play netball and volleyball only be Y, and those who play volleyball only be Z. Now friends, we can, if you look at this, as if I'm having 3 unknowns. I have these 2 for those who didn't play any of the 3 games. But when I add the whole this, if I add everything, I must get 100. Yes, I'm seeing 3 unknowns, but I can consider the whole of this as 78 because this is set N. So when I add 78 plus 0 plus C, 5 plus Z plus 2, I must be getting 100. And can you imagine these ones here? Here, if I add, and can you imagine, after having 78, I remain with only Z. Even you can decide to have the whole of this as 82. Then you will have X as the value of X. And then you add here a 2. In most cases, people who fail the number of sets, issues come from here, intersection things, and also intersection regions. And again, here people forget to add this one. Now that this one is always forgotten, make sure that you start with it. So now when you are finding the value of X, the value of Y, the value of Z, make sure that you should now equate to the universe. So then later you use individual sets. Now like me, after getting here the value of X, assume I used that 82, the whole of this, plus 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus X is equal to 100. So I can get here the value of what? of x. So after getting the value of x, still I can use the entire set to get the value of y. Because now that I have x, I have here 48, 0, and then y remaining unknown. So I can use it to get the value of y, equating it to 78. And after getting the value of y still, you can do the same. But do not forget putting there a title. Now, I want to first find the values, you see, like the way we have been saying. Yes, 78 plus 5 plus 2 plus z is equal to this. I have my z as 15. And then I have my value of y. Number of v is equal to 82. Go back and check. 48 plus 5 plus y plus z is equal to 82, giving me y as 14. And then the value of x, we have number of n is equal to 78. Do the same. Here we have x plus y plus 48 plus is equal to 78, like the way we have said, and we get the answer as 16. Now, you come and fill in your Venn diagram without now unknown z and what they will score. Now, before you say that I'm done, you just confirm whether every set region is giving you 48, 78. Prove every set region. Yes, this is 30. Then plus 48, I get 78. Then the whole of this is 62. 62 plus 20, I get 82. And then the whole of this is 53. Then and then 2. The moment again you add everything and you see whether you get 100. But I see for us, our answers are right. Then now they are asking, find the number of students who play both tennis, both netball and volleyball, but not tennis. Now this is same as netball and volleyball only. And now, how many are those? Volleyball, netball, and volleyball, but not tennis. So these are the 14. So we shall say 14 students play both volleyball and netball, but not tennis. Then we had a decision that a games master had to make. They are saying that he would only award the bursary if the probability of those who play only 2 games were less than 50%. And here we can see that those who play only 2 games, I have 0, I have 5, I have also 14, and I have the answer as 19. So the probability of those who play only 2 games, we have 19 over 100. 100 is the universal times 100. Now that we want that probability in percentage, and the answer is 19%. Look at that 19%, and then use it to give a conclusion. Now that is less than 19, it is less than 50%, so our certificates will be awarded. No, bursaries will be awarded, not certificates. Sorry. So we shall come and we say that the school will award bursaries because the probability of those who play only 2 games is 19, which is less than 50%. So here in set theory, in that probability they will score presentation for the title, analysis, and then interpretation. So please make sure that you organize your work. I always tell my learners to have a talking work. Let your work talk, not an examiner asking what was he trying to mean here. So it is better we organize our work. Then we have also item 4, and that is we had only matrices in that, and also finding profit business as arithmetic 1. And trades, who's a businessman, who deals in agricultural produce business, visited 4 markets in a certain week, and he is challenged on how to arrange the records in rows and columns form. Market A bought 3 bags of beans, 5 bags of maize, 10 bags of potato, and 3 bags of millet. In market B bought the same items. In market C still bought some, and even here still bought the following. And then he bought a bag of beans at 45,000, and then bought a bag of maize at 30,000, a bag of potatoes at 15,000, a bag of millet at 50,000. He wants to sell all the produce at 50,000 per bag of beans, 35,000 per bag of maize, 18,000 per bag of potatoes, and 55,000 per bag of millet. Musa is not sure of the total profit from the sales. Organize. Now, as long as you see rows and columns, those are matrices. Do not just draw a table and leave it there. Extract those matrices and possibly make sure that you also put the order. Now, here we want also calculate the amount he spent in buying this produce and find the total profit he generated. Now, I came here and I summarized all the scenario here in my table. I drew a table here, market, then items, and good enough here I'm saying table showing bags of items bought. Yes, now these are bags. It's better you put that one. In most cases, the bring maybe like milk in liters, beans in kilograms. Do not put there 3 kilograms, 5 liters, and what? That one looks ugly. That work looks ugly and tidy. So please, if at all they have different units, come and say beans in brackets, kilograms, then millet, maybe milk in bracket, liters. Then I can come here and I say maybe any other item in different units. So come here and you see, I summarize. But now here in the market B, he didn't buy maize, so do not just leave it there blank. If maybe they have not bought, but then make sure that you come and put there a 0. What most learners did, where in extraction of matrices, here where there isn't any, for items that were not bought in market C, you just leave it there. You just leave spaces. Please, you always put there a 0. Because if you don't have anything in your pocket, it means that you have 0 coins. But me, I saw that I needed to find the total items, the total bags per item bought. Because I saw that me using a 4x4 matrix, yes, I'm going to use it, but it will take time for me to find the total. Yes, I said let me add them, and then I get the total bags per item bought. Then the buying price is here per item, and then the selling price is also here. Then I went again and I found the profit. Profit is equal to selling price minus buying price, and 50,000 minus 45,000, I get 5,000. Then 35,000 minus 35,000 minus 30, I get 5,000. And then if 18,000 minus 15,000, I get 3,000. 55k minus 50k, I get 5k. So that's how I summarized my scenario like that. Then I came here, the same table. Now, matrix showing items bought in the 4 markets. Now, this is my matrix, a 4x4 matrix. Please make sure that you put there a title. Because now I can ask, what is this market? What is this matrix for? And then again, I went ahead and I have now total item matrix. That is it. Good enough, you can see that because I drew this table, an examiner will not be confused. What does this 13 represent? No, total bags of beans. And then I have buying price item, because now I have to use that one to find the amount of money spent on those items. And still it is a 4x1 matrix. I have 4 rows and 1 column. And then also I have selling price matrix. You can see it, it is there, 4x1. And then lastly, I have a profit matrix, and you can see it there. So that is my summary. Yes, some people can get the amount of money bought, spent on buying those items, and then amount of money bought after selling those items, then you subtract to get the profit. But why can't you summarize here? From here, you find the profit, such that you save time. That's why we say that time is not enough, but be creative enough to make sure that you create ample time. Then here we shall come and we say that as we are finding the total amount of money spent when buying all items, come here and you say how many items did I buy in total. That's why I strictly come to this. But if they had said find the amount of money spent in each market, then I would not take this direction, because I would expect my result to be having 4 rows, markets. So I would maintain my matrix here with this one. But now that I want just one figure, that's why I come here and I use this. And this is a 1x4 matrix. And then this is a 4x1 matrix. It means that, yes, these matrices have been arranged compatible for multiplication. The number of columns in the first matrix should be same as the number of rows in the second matrix. I repeat this. The number of columns in the first matrix should be same as the number of rows in the second matrix. It's when you can tell that you have arranged those matrices very well compatible for multiplication. And then come 13 times 45,000 plus 9 times 30,000 plus 20 times 15,000 plus 6 times 50,000. Here, that is it. Then here we get our answer as 1,455,000. But respond to the task, give a conclusion. Say spent 1,455,000 on all items. Then here we want to find the profit. The total items bought, are here, and then I have profit matrix, and then you come and you multiply. So here we shall come and we say that is 13 times 50, I have 9 times 5,000, I have 20 times 3,000, I have 6 times 5,000. And then here we get a total of 200,000. So make a conclusion. So he made a profit of 200,000. Then item 5, now that is section B, part 2. And here we have the first paragraph that says, Jessica has a room that she plans to use as a beauty salon. She has a wallpaper of 4.7 square meters. The wall she plans to cover with a paper is 240 centimeters by 300 centimeters. She knows the whole paper she has is not enough, so she needs your advice on how much more she should buy. A roll of 10 square meters of wall paper is sold at 32,000. So here, we shall proceed. Then she's working on her salon logo based on a simple triangle with vertex A located at 1, 1, then vertex B located at 4, 1, and then point C located at 1, 5. The digital grid. As a part of the design process, she first created a mirrored version of the triangle by reflecting it along the x-axis, resulting in a new triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. Then to explore the variations, she took this new triangle and enlarged it with a scale factor of 2 around the center of the grid, that is the origin, to get the final shape, that is A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. She needed to know precise locations of corners of the transformed triangles and understand the overall effect of the step C combined. Task help Jessica to determine the extra roles she must buy, determine the exact conditions of the two images, and then describe a single geometrical transformation that would map triangle A directly onto triangle, the final triangle A prime, B double prime, and then C double prime. Now here I want to start with this first paragraph. Now first of all, you can see that here the roll or the size of the roll was in square meters, so it's better if I first change these ones to centimeters. And 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So here to get meters from 300 centimeters, you divide by 100, giving me 3 meters. And then here 240 centimeters is equal to 2.4 meters. Then what is the area of the wall? So the area of the wall is 3 times 2.4, giving me 7.2 square meters. But remember, he had already 4.7. So you'll come and say that Jessica already has 4.7 square meters of the whole paper. Now ask yourself, but he needs 7.2. So how much more must she buy? So 7.2 minus 4.7, I get 2.5 square meters. And can you imagine? For square, she will buy extra 2.5 square meters. That is a quarter a roll, because a roll has 10 square meters. And remember, each square meter, each roll is sold at 32,000. And now it means that the whole this will cost her 80,000. So she will use 8,000 to buy more 2.5 square meters of the roll. Yes, we have the second paragraph, which is all about transformation. And here we have the points. The first triangle is ABC located at those points. And we need to come here and we say the first triangle is reflected along the x-axis. Please, when you reflect along the x-axis, yes, you can use the matrix having maybe 1, 0, then 0, -1 in a row form. Then you pre-multiply with this object point to get the image. But now here, just understand that when you reflect along the x-axis, the x coordinate the coordinates remain in their positions, and the y coordinate changes only the sign. So now here, our triangle here would be image triangle will be 1, -1, 4, -1, and then C will be 1, -5. What are you noticing? That y coordinates are changing just the signs. That's how brief we can now bring it on reflection along the x-axis. But when we reflect along the y-axis, now this time x coordinate is the one that changes the sign, but keeping their position. See, so that's why here he said that When you reflect P, point P, X, Y along the x-axis, the image is P prime, which is X, then negative Y. Then also, again here, you can pre-multiply this matrix of transformation by the object point. That is 1, 0, 0, then the negative 1, and this is the matrix of reflection along the x-axis. And now, after that, this new triangle A prime, B prime, and C prime will be enlarged with a scale factor of 2 around the origin. So when we are enlarging, just get that enlargement scale factor and then multiply it by 2. Okay, get that scale factor, then multiply it with its coordinate, all with each point. So here, now that I have 2 as the enlargement scale factor, so come here and say that now here, enlargement scale factor of 2, I went ahead and I say that 2 times x, then 2 times y. So it depends on the enlargement scale factor that you have been given. But this one only works when you are enlarging about the origin. So here I have 1, 2. So let me multiply by 2, I'll get 2, negative 2. I'll have 2, negative 2. 1 times negative 1 times 2, 2. Negative 1 times 2, again negative 2. Then here 4 times 2, 8. Then here negative 1 times 2, I get negative 2. Then I have 1 times 2, that is 2. Then negative 5 times 2, I get negative 10. So here, that is it. So when I enlarge a point about the origin with enlargement scale factor of k, go ahead and multiply that enlargement scale factor with each point. So these are the image coordinates of the last triangle, or the third. 2, negative 2, 8, negative 2. C, we have 2, negative 10. I'm going to make sure that I upload a video specifically for transformations. But please make sure that if you know that you've not subscribed, don't forget, make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. So now here they are asking, describe a single geometric transformation that would map triangle ABC directly onto onto the final triangle, that is A double prime, B double prime, and then C double prime. Now, in most cases, just get this one here, here, the final coordinates, and then multiply the inverse of this matrix, then by this final image coordinates, the final image coordinates, and then I get to get that matrix. I got this matrix as the transformation. So I'm asking, wait, I repeat, to get the matrix of transformation that maps this onto this, I ask myself, which matrix of transformation will I pre-multiply with this object point, triangle A, B, C, to get the image triangle this. So you can get the matrix B, A, B, C, D. Then you pre-multiply it with this to come up with the image coordinates A double prime, B double prime, and C double prime. Then you get that matrix. And the matrix I got is 2, 0, then 2, then here also 2, 0, then 0, negative 2. And in this, there is something I saw, like enlarging with the scale factor of 2 about the origin. And again, I'm seeing reflection along the x-axis. So that is, I'm seeing enlargement at the same time, but there isn't any single geometric transformation that I'm seeing. I personally, I see enlargement of a scale factor 2 and at the same time reflection along the x-axis. That is the two that I saw there. So here, as long as we are enlarging with a scale factor about the origin, go ahead and just use that scale factor, multiply each point, each coordinate in a point to get the image coordinate. And now we go to item 6. And here we have the geography department in your school hires 2 buses, A and B, to transport senior 4 students for a study trip. You expect to reach the destination at the same time at 400 hours, that is 2 p.m. The 2 buses left school both traveling to the destination. One bus travels at an average speed of 80 kilometers per hour and arrives 50 minutes late, and the other travels an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour and arrives 20 minutes late. The head of department wanted to know the distance apart these buses were traveling so that he reports correctly to the head teacher. The head of department also reported about underpayment in his net monthly salary to the head teacher. He receives allowance for managing allowance of 85,000 per month for management of geography department. Additionally, receives housing allowances of 50,000 per month, and then medical allowance of 939,000 per annum. Then transport, that is 180,000 per annum, and the school pays his insurance premium of that annually. He earns a gross monthly income of 1.1 million. So he's subjected to pay as you earn. Then here we have our table as you see it there. Now here we have 2 paragraphs. We have one asking for now here we can borrow knowledge of timetables. Then here we use speed, distance, and time. All here you can use the concept of travel graphs before in senior 2 course. Here you have to also to use even bearing, because you have a concept of finding the distance. But now here we are going to use, here I'm seeing 2 conditions. So here also that I'm seeing also another part for taxation. So maybe from there we can now move on. Now here we have the allowances. Maybe we focus only on this number of taxation. Now here the taxable income in our table has been given in months. So it means that you have to look for only monthly incomes. If it is allowances, make sure that you look for the monthly allowances. However, there are some allowances in months, in years. So it's better you express it in months. And also look at this gross monthly income. In most cases, they give it to you as gross annual income. Please make sure that you divide to get the monthly gross income. So from there, I came here and I looked for the allowances. And now allowances here, you can see medical, yes, it is not this, but I got this medical, then I divided by 12 because per annum and I wanted per month. I got this transport 15,000, the same. So for every allowance that was not in month, I kept on dividing by 12 for the case of those per annum, to get them per month. So that is it. And then total allowances, I got 278,250. Then after that, I had to look for taxable income. Taxable income is equal to gross income minus allowances, all total allowances, and my gross income is 1.1 million minus that allowance 278,250, and then I get a difference of 821,750 as our taxable income. So come and you find the income tax. Now I drew here my table. In the first batch, this one, please learners, it's just a place value holder. Only use this. Now you, instead of having 150,000 then minus 1, you get an ugly answer having 999. Please, no, it will not work. Just only consider this. In fact, if you want maybe to subtract, replace this one with a 0 at the start, such that you don't get 99 something. And the moment you see 99 somewhere under taxable income per month, then just know that you've made an error. And then come back to your senses very fast and see where the mistake could be. So here the rate is 5%. So it is 5 over 100 times 150, I get 7,500. Then here also get 350,000 minus 150,000, I get 200, and the rate is 10.5. 10.5 divided by 100 times 200,000, I get 21,000. Then even here, 450,000 minus 350,000, I get 100,000, and the rate is 18.5, giving me income tax as 18,500. And then also here, 650 minus 450, I get 200,000. Then I get, the rate is 28, giving me income tax after charging 28% on 200,000, giving me 56,000. Now, friends, at the moment you add this, now someone here above 650, come here and say, how much more money now you see here? 200, that is 400. Then here 150, 100, I get 250, then I get 650. So how much more money should I tax to come, should I tax in order to have taxed my taxable income? Remember, my taxable income is this. So after reaching here, find where your taxable income lies. Now, if I told it lies here above 650, come and put here. You can come and say that up to here, maybe 8, 2, 1, then here 750. So this can become, you put here where taxable income lies, such that you don't tax now. You, instead of having 650,000, it doesn't make sense. So just come and make sure that, and the moment you add all this, and you don't get, and then you don't get your taxable income, my friend, you need to check, because the answer will not be right. Because you have to make sure that the moment you add all this taxable income, what you've taxed should be giving you what you got in your taxable income. So that's what we must do. Yeah. So this is our total tax, our total income tax, and it is 154,525. And then net income is equal to gross income minus income tax. Net income is the amount of money that appears on your account. And what does not appear on your account is either NSSF or income tax. So allowances appear on your account. That's why we get gross income minus what does not appear on our account. Similarly, if at all someone was supposed to pay NSSF, also would have now subtracted income tax, and again I subtract the NSSF, so to get the net income. So here we have our net income as 944,475. So that is our net income. So when I'm producing another video good enough, more mocks, more mock papers are coming, and very soon CAMSI will be uploaded. Even CAMTech, we have UTech, we have also Wakisha. So make sure that you subscribe, like, and share. And now, in case you find issues, I have my WhatsApp numbers. You can contact me and also send me an email. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. We have also our WhatsApp group, Mathematics Connect. Please find the time, because we always have lessons during the holidays. It has helped very many students, and they give a testimony every day and every time about the channel, because we help learners so much. So make sure that you also add a friend if at all you're there, and in case you're not there, pick interest of sending me a hi in my inbox, then I can be able also to add you in that group. I wish you success next time we meet. More papers are coming explained step by step with a clear guide. Success.